Hello. Oh, why have I got no sound?
That's right, I've got it. I was on mute.
I probably muted, was I?
Yeah, I was on mute.
Josephine trying to come in as well. Is Josephine trying to come in?
Just bear with me. I'm on the participants. Right, I've got loads to add in now. There we go. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
All right.
Hi, I was getting really worried. I thought you were keeping me out. Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Hello there.
Hello.
Who's there? That's David. David C. Never. I don't know that we've ever.
David C.
Long time no
Hello.
see.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Matty. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you, Gemma.
Hi, Gemma.
And
Gemma,
Sally.
yeah.
Hi.
Jason.
Hey,
all.
Right,
Hi, Doc.
It's Doc. Hiya, Doc.
Salutations. I love that shirt.
Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Marilyn.
Hello, everyone.
I've got Devlin and Belinda here as well. Jason.
Brilliant.
Hi.
Okay. Hi, Belinda.
Just be happy with what you've got.
Yeah.
Happy with what you've got. Whoever said that? Yeah, we're happy.
Yeah. That was my better half. Yeah. She was...
Did you say better half or bitter half?
better.
Right, Matty.
No, mate.
All right. Yeah, good. Thanks.
Good.
Can you
Hey, Matty.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Gemma.
Sorry, Josephine, I've got a new phone and it says my camera's off, but can you see me?
Yeah.
I can see you
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
perfectly. Yeah, you're there. Oh, Vicky, hi. Just seen you. The pictures keep changing, so if I
Very
miss
quickly.
somebody.
Yeah. It's
Hi, Emma.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good to see you.
Yes. I think
Hi,
we've got a lot
Emma.
of people coming tonight.
Hello.
Adele. Welcome
Hello,
all the way
Josephine.
from
How are you?
Australia.
Yes.
Glad
The
you got
sun's
here.
just coming up here. Just slowly coming up.
The moon's just coming up here.
Yeah.
We've got bright sun on 22 inches of snow.
Wow.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Cool.
Oh, well, that feels Christmassy, I'm sure.
Uh, no, it just looks cold.
Mm,
Well, potentially we've got 52 people here tonight.
yeah,
No,
potentially.
54, because 2 more came in.
Just what we really need is our first people in.
Hi, Belinda.
Ah, Belinda, welcome. It gets me every day.
Hi, Belinda.
Hi.
Hi.
And congratulations, Belinda.
Thank you very much.
What have I missed?
Oh, I had a little flash fiction, came the runner-up in the dyslexia
Oh,
competition.
brilliant.
Oh,
Well
well
done.
Well done.
Congratulations.
That's a big one.
Mazel
Good.
tov.
Yeah.
I've been subscribing for over 20 years, so
You
strange to
feel as
see
if
it.
you need something.
It's a long time coming.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Hi, Carol. Brilliant. Lovely to see you.
Hi, Carol.
Carol.
Hello.
Can you hear us? Hello. Yeah, good. Hi.
Hi, Carol.
Hello.
Oh, and Vicky. Hello, Vicky.
Well, we've got our first 4 poets here, so that's good.
Long time no see, Matty.
And yourself, how you been?
Yeah, I'm keeping fine. Yeah.
Oh, we can
keeping
actually
fine
see you,
and busy.
Charlie.
Sorry.
We Charlie. can actually see you.
Yeah.
It's lovely to see you with us. It's brilliant.
Albie.
Hi, Albie. Hi.
Albie.
Have you
Hi,
had your
Albie.
haircut?
Yeah,
Ah, looks good.
thank you.
Hi, Albie.
Hello. I'm going to make you smaller, see if I can see everyone else. Yay. Hello, peeps. How you all doing?
All right.
Good. Yeah, good.
Hi,
Yeah.
Lucia.
Hi, Josephine.
Hi, Lucia.
Hi, Charlie. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Fine. Thank you.
Hi, Catherine.
Kathy.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Adam.
There you are, Charlie.
He's still linking.
Yes, Doc. Hiya.
Hi, Adam.
Oh, trying to stay warm in the house. 22 inches of snow.
Yeah, that sounds cold. Ugh.
And it's heavy, wet stuff, too. I have to have my grandsons come over and shovel out my drive when they have a chance.
Yeah.
They can be very useful, grandsons.
If they live near enough.
8 doors from me.
Oh, that's not bad.
We do it. All right.
Yeah, I've got about another 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to start very early, even if everybody's not here, because we have an exceedingly tight schedule. So it's going to be interesting. 33 poets.
Hi, Catherine.
Derek coming in. Chloe's coming in.
Good. Hi, Chloe.
She can't hear.
Yo, Chloe.
Hello.
Hi, Chloe.
What a welcome.
Yeah. We're watching avidly, counting.
Here's Derek. Derek. Hi, Derek.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm floundering with the video. Just bear with me.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Good, good.
Hi, Stephen.
Hello. How are you?
Hi, Stephen.
Good, thanks.
Good to see you all.
Whew. Gonna be a busy night.
It is indeed.
Yes, it is.
Ah. It's super. Hi, Derek.
Hi. We can
Hi.
see you now.
Muted, Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Hello.
Hello, Sue.
Nice
You're
to
right.
see you all. I'm good again.
Yeah.
Is my audio working?
Yeah.
Who's saying
Adam.
that?
Hi,
Yes,
Adam.
Adam. Sorry, we did say
Hello.
hi, but it was
Yeah,
actually
but my audio wasn't working for a while.
All right. Now
Hiya.
it's working. Hi, Clive.
Steve. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Clive. Hello. How you doing?
Hey, Clive.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I don't recognise you, Charlie, when I
Oh,
see
not him again.
Him again, yeah.
Oh, God, I recognise that voice.
We've got 2 pages.
Oh.
Should be a
We're
good
not
night
quite
tonight.
as close. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, it should be good.
Indeed. Oh, here comes Nick.
Oh, God, I'm off.
Nick already. I put him right at the end because he's always late. I thought,
I just heard you.
he said he can't come very early, so I said I'd put him right at the end. So he's going to have to go through the lot. Hi,
Hi,
Karen.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay. And you?
Good.
How's everybody?
All right.
All right?
We're all right, I think.
Not
Good.
too cold to function.
Not here, but Doc Janning's in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh,
22
no, I'm not in trouble. It's just we got swamped with snow.
Oh no. Oh dear.
22 inches.
Oof.
Wow. Is that usual for you at this time of year?
No,
Oh.
not at all.
Hi, Nick.
Oh, gosh.
And all of it within about a 30-hour period.
Oh gosh.
It must have snowed heavily. Right, God.
All right, Nick.
I'm going to show
Hi,
you
Nick.
because I just picked it random.
I can't see Nick. Where is he?
He's on page 2.
He's on page 2. I'm on page 2.
He's muted.
It's the ugly one in the bottom left-hand corner.
Not in my corner.
I'm just about to close it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm there now.
Oh, there you are. You're up the top, actually.
Oh, not here, I'm not. This is getting confusing. Where am I? Well, it's all got very surreal.
All over the place. Trevor's coming in. Hi, Trevor.
Hi, you can't see me yet, though, can you?
No, we
Not
can't
yet.
see you yet. But the important thing is we can hear you. Right.
Supposed to snow. I think Scotland, and it's
Yeah, Charlie, I got that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna see.
I would have typed it, but it takes too long. It's easier to say. Yep, got it.
Okay.
Joe, I had to answer. Oh, I saw Winston to a lovely girl.
Right. Do remember, everybody, if you're having a conversation with somebody, we can hear everything you are saying. So please mute yourselves.
I have
Can't
known one or
hear
two
me,
very
whoever it
unfortunate
is.
incidents when people haven't realised that people can hear them.
Coming from Sandra's iPad.
Sandra's iPad, we can hear you.
Oh, can you? Sorry.
So mute yourself if you're having a conversation.
Hi, Kathy. Who, Kathy?
Oh, hi, Kathy.
Which Kathy, where am I? I've lost you.
There's
Oh,
two
Kathy.
Catherine
Lovely. Brilliant.
and Catherine Baker. And Julie Faulkner.
Julie Faulkner, hi. Trevor, I can see you now.
Yes, I've had to
That's
switch to
brilliant.
my phone for some reason. My iPad seems to have let me down.
Dear.
Oh.
Anyway,
It is scary when you come on. If anything should happen to the piece of equipment, it's a problem, isn't it? Okay, we have 3 minutes to go, Jason, and then we'll begin. Okay.
Okay.
So I think we've got enough people in to start in a minute. I think we've got about 50 people due to come in.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
We've 31 so far.
Yeah. Well, we need 33. That's all the poets. If we haven't got 33, we're in trouble.
Well,
It'll be a scramble.
as long as I'm one of them.
We like to make life difficult, so
Yeah. Complex.
Difficult,
Complex. That's what I
but
like.
not impossible.
33 poets and 35 poets.
Yep.
Come to that. Ooh, 31.
I'm going over to here to see whether I can see. Hi, Carol.
It's strange.
Yes,
Change
right.
the screen, it moves everything about.
I know. Brilliant.
Something else coming in now.
Got Brian Reed coming in.
Oh, good.
Ivor.
Ivor Daniel, hi Ivor.
Hi, Ivor.
Hi.
Brian Reed's coming in.
It's coming.
Hi, everybody.
Oh.
Hi, Brian. I can see you. I can see your earphones. Looking very cool.
Sure, he's hearing you.
Can you hear us?
Hi, Brian.
Juliet. Brilliant. Hi, Juliet.
Hi, Juliet.
Ooh.
Oh, what was it?
Very cool.
Okay.
Coming in.
Okay. One more minute to go and then we'll start. If I've got the order all mixed up, we're in trouble. So fingers crossed. We ought to have some music, shouldn't we, as people coming in?
I'll sing to you if you like.
Oh,
No. It's all right. You're okay.
we're good. Thanks, mate. We're good.
I'll just take my hearing aids out.
Such a generous offer, Clive.
Oh no, I'm just too good to you all.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
You're
Mate.
very selfless, Clive.
You-
We
you-
appreciate it, don't we?
You do spoil us, especially our hearing.
34.
34 so far. Right. Well, I'm going to say we're going to start. So, hi, everybody. And if people are coming in, obviously I won't necessarily see them, but you're welcome. And I'm really pleased you're here. This is going to be a rather interesting and unusual and possibly even unique event. So fingers crossed it all goes well. I'm going to suggest this time that we don't necessarily mute once we get going, because we do want an applause for everybody who's reading their poem. So therefore, it's really your responsibility individually. If you're having a conversation or the phone's ringing or the dog's barking, please mute yourself. But otherwise, you can be part of the general audience and we can have some applause at the end. That would be great. So we're going to start now and we're going to finish probably about 9:05 because we have got 33 people reading, and we've actually reading 35 poems because 2 people who aren't here with us will have their poems read. For those who don't know who I am, I'm the Director of Operations for the GPS, and I'm a novelist and a writer and a poet, and I'm based in Brockworth. And my second poetry collection is Unravelling, which was published in 2019. Now I'm going to give a couple of lines like that for everybody, but that is all we've got time for, unfortunately. And I would say to people who are reading, if you need to introduce your poem, please keep it to the minimum, because we have, we're going to be pretty tight for time. Now, before we actually start, there is a sadness in today's event because one of our poets is no longer with us. Jonathan Robert Muirhead sadly passed away in August this year, but his poems are in this anthology and we will not ever forget him. So we're going to start off with Peter reading his poem, Mona Lisa.
Okay. Mona Lisa. This poem was originally entitled Poems So Sad in Sainsbury's Draft 1. And I spoke to Jonathan about 5 days before he passed away and got a brief bio from him, and we discussed it and we changed the name of this poem to Mona Lisa. It will become obvious. Okay, so Mona Lisa by Jonathan Robert Muirhead. Your face to me this morning was like the Mona Lisa dissolving slowly. It seemed to drip onto the heel of your hand and wrist. All white around the veins seemed to sparkle with melancholy. The shop lights painted circles of pale white and yellow around you, a small halo of sadness. And all around you, the buzz and drone of folk and families all panic buying. No one saw you apart from me. Once I'd seen your eyes, I could not look away. Small wells of emotion that seemed to slowly get bigger the longer I looked. So I did not look too long, but yet not long enough to know you a moment. I wanted to speak to you, but did not dare, lest I upset you further. How I don't know, but I felt for you still. Why? I know not. But I felt for you still, there on your own, or at least that's how you seemed. At that moment, at that time, in this shop, in this town, maybe because you could not get all the goods you needed, maybe because you weren't feeling well, or maybe because you weren't feeling at all. I don't know. I didn't ask. It didn't feel right. Okay, now. Thank you. So that was it.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Very nice.
Beautifully read.
So now we'll get on with the rest of the evening. And I'm going to read my poem, which was part of a response to one of Ziggy's many challenges online. But brilliantly, I've put everybody's number next to their poem except mine. Of course, being absolutely sensible. That's probably the only one I needed. Okay, 26. We're doing well. Anyway, everybody, I do hope you've got your copy with you. I'm going to read out the number of the poem as well. So if you want to be feeling as if you're in church with a hymn book, you can look up each poem and read it. Also, can I just draw your attention to the chat at the bottom? If you want to say anything to anyone or about anything you're listening to, you can always put your thoughts into that chat. So without any more ado, I'll get on and read this. It's called Cemented. And I think some of the words that we were supposed to use was something like cemented, slothful, clementine, amorphous, sponge, awful, and that kind of awful words that Ziggy is so good at sending to us. So this is my response. Cemented to this bed, like jam on a buttered slice, he sticks. This slothful creature courts rest, evades sleep. Concepts circle in his brain, ideas as sharp as citrus, a taste of clementine in his amorphous mental cloud. Muscles as soft as sponge, he oozes across pillows, eyes like ovens in his face, a mouth of rotting teeth, breathing the stench of offal.
Ooh. Wow.
Thank you. So I'm going to call up the poets. It's, as they say in the voice, in no particular order, except that there are a few ordered because some could only come early and some could only come late. But that is the only order that's been put here, okay? So we're going to start with Marilyn Timms. Marilyn's going to read A Day Like Any Other, which is on page 13 for those who have got their book. Marilyn is a widely published poet. Her second collection, Deciphering the Maze, was written in collaboration with her husband Howard and published by Indigo Dreams this year. So big hand please for Marilyn Timms.
Thank you very much. And can I just say quickly, I can't cope with typing chat, so you won't be getting lots of hurrahs from me, but I do appreciate everything you read. A day like any other. Another burnt toast day begins. Satchels, car keys lost and found. Inner city buses chased and lost. Teenagers share a needle, share a can. Can't imagine growing old. Beside the fountain in the park, crusaders plant a garden for the dispossessed. Erect a placard, help yourselves. Never question how marjoram might help with hoarding lives in plastic bags. Unseen beneath the willow trees, a cardboard chrysalis splits and spills a man upon the grass to wait, a patient butterfly, until the meager sun can warm his blood. A car backfires, a sniper sound that drives him back to Desert Storm, awakens pain in his missing leg, reminds him how he loved to dance. Later, he hijacks a doorway near the bank, dines on second-hand kebabs. Spare some change, Gov? Anything? Any spare change? The entire town bears witness to a modern miracle. The unknown soldier is become invisible.
Wow.
Oh, thank you, Marilyn. That was brilliant. Fabulous start. Okay, we're going to move on really quickly. And the next poet up will be Belinda Rimmer, who is going to read Wrecker, which is on page 141. Belinda is a widely published poet online, and her pamphlet, Touching Sharks in Monaco, won the Indigo Dreams first pamphlet competition in 2019. So without any more ado, a big hand for Belinda Rimmer, please.
Hi.
I wrote this a long time ago, so I'll read it now. It's called Wrecker. She tucks a strand of hair into a ribbed hat. The wind has an itch, a liking for blonde. The lantern draws her face to shadow. She's dressed in dark blue for season, quality of sky. Fog hangs greasy. She remembers a time it came down so thick, ships couldn't see her flame, bright and tempting. Tonight, luck prevailing, a vessel will sweep up on the rocks where her light swings, run aground, bowed as rickets, spitting out its gold and silver and pearls, its whiskey rifles, barrels of tobacco. Chained to the waves, to what they might gift her, she never hears the curdle cries of sailors or thinks how lonely it might be at the bottom of an ocean.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you, Belinda. Big hand for Belinda Rimmer. And we'll carry on swiftly to Carol Shepherd, who's going to read her poem Journey, which is on page 62. Carol is a successful scriptwriter for film and radio plays. She's also a poet, and her poem Journey featured as part of Earth and Sky installation in the summer in Gloucester. So big hand, please, for Carol Shepherd.
Thank you. Journey. If we become separated, I will wait for you by the railway track in case you choose to follow the rusted rails, jumping from one blackened sleeper to another as you go. I will dispense dry leaves to fly like moths to find you. Send a smoke signal from a dirty diesel engine high to mix with the peppermint clouds. Startle flocks of resting rooks hunkered in the trees so they take flight, scatter like splashed ink. I will sail flotillas of paper boats down the rivers and shoot fireworks into the night sky, so that wherever you are, you will see and know that I am close.
Nice.
I love that poem. Thank you, Carol. That was fabulous. Yes, we went and saw that poem written around the tree outside Matson on the green there. Lovely, lovely. Thank you, Carol. So straight on to Juliet Morton, please. Now, Juliet's going to read Sunday Service, Winter Swimming, which is on page 121. Juliet is a poet in residence at the Cotswold Water Park, and her poetry is featured on BBC Upload. So please, a big hand for Juliet Morton.
Sunday Service. Unscrew the lid and the steel flask rings like a singing bowl, calling the body to this winter ritual of fixing broken frequencies. Steam from the enamel cup mists the windscreen, and we swig the coffee down, bittersweet and eager, hot enough to relieve the brain thinking. Dry robes slither off the arms, hang on lakeside pegs, and we smirk each time at the sign, no recreational swimming. Toes in, soles of feet laid down on the limestone shingle, followed fast by ankles and calves, knees and thighs and hips, and pause at the waist to draw breath, to exclaim, to lower palms to the green fin grey of the icy mirror to the luminescent leaves, black cormorants, conifers on the near horizon. Goggles on, brace, go, push into the navy deep, scuds of shallow waves at the neck, hands sweep from prayer to embrace, face in, eyes open to the brightening clay floor, a copse of weed in the water's glacial clarity, glaucous and strange, a beatific underworld. This lake has played, bred, killed, fed hell. Our ecstatic skins sing in praise, and we drum the yellow boy in devotion to this heathen mass. Immerse ourselves in this instant, this place, this body of flesh and water. Turning towards the shore, we observe the coda of submerged birch. Hail again the marvel of the white magpie in its branches. Give thanks for this time out of mind, this chattering spirit of renewal. Thanks, guys.
Beautiful and beautifully read. Thank you, Juliet Morton. That's lovely. Okay, moving straight on, we come to Chloe Jacquet. Now, Chloe is going to read Sounds of Easter, which is on page 118. She is a multi-slam winning, multicultural, multifaceted spoken word artist, and her first collection, Take It By the Line, was published by Black Eyes in September 2020. A big hand, please, for Chloe Jacquet.
Thanks. This is Sounds of Easter. Sausages sing a song of sizzle and spit, backed by huge flames from a barbecue lit with too much lighter fluid. A lady worries food poisoning is a risk. The gardens are bathed in the retro electronic pulses of the music from the foreign family's giant conservatory. Upbeat and engaging, it sounds like something made with an 80s Casio keyboard, but it is the welcome and welcoming oral shawl laid over the neatly boxed green spaces. A small boy sobs for the football that suddenly and unexpectedly popped when it got kicked into the hedge that is too spiky to hide Easter eggs in. Mother and aunt's hearts crack for that inconsolable little soul, but are quietly relieved for their own. Running around whilst drinking gin and tonics only makes the alcohol course through your veins faster. The little girl calls with her eyes over the fence, wishing she could play with the boy who doesn't speak her language. Dandelions and daisies riot everywhere, their colours clamouring to be seen. Meanwhile, the forget-me-nots mutedly remind everyone not to omit to wake the dormant lawnmowers. The grass really is getting too long. Grown-ups stay up late into the night. Their voices drift skywards on the scent of smoke and weed, towards the open skylights in the roof, under which those trying to sleep kick off blankets in the heat.
Thank you, Chloe. That's brilliant. A big hand for Chloe Jacquet. Well, we are actually moving quite fast, which is good, because I was really beginning to think this was going to take a long time, but it's working well. Good. So next up, we have Derek. Derek Doran. I'm sorry you're a little bit quicker than I thought, because Ben Ray hasn't come in yet. So I'm going to pop you in and we'll move him to the end later on. Okay. So Derek is going to read Uncle, which is on page 136. Derek is an artist, an author and poet. His second collection, Wasp in My Cockpit, has just been published by Black Eyes. Thank you. Big hand for Derek.
Thank you. Pallbearers ready? We stand, lined up, and in unison, we lift carefully, 3 of us on the left. Each of us settles the great weight onto a shoulder. 3 of us on the right, and carefully we turn towards the congregation. I was 7 years old when you came to the house on your push bike. I expressed my fascination and you asked me if I wanted to go for a ride. You lifted me over the crossbar and climbed onto the saddle, securing me between powerful forearms as you reached for the handlebars. Through the backyard door, we went into the alleyway and out onto cobbles, your enormous strength and skill keeping us upright. And all I had to do was be as we cut through the silver grey of Anfield. How odd that we journeyed in silence. As we make our way out of the church, my mind hurries back to that childhood memory. Now I return the favour. I carry you as you once carried me. I'm the strong one, keeping us upright, and all you have to do is be, as we cut through the silver grey of the church. How odd that we journey in silence.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's fabulous. Thank you, Derek. That's an absolute beautiful.
Beautiful.
There's something I was reading about the white of the page when the poem finishes. How you should be aware of it. The silence when the voice stops and the white of the page. And that does that beautifully. Thank you, Derek. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have Tish Camp. Now Tish is going to read Cher Obama's Portrait, and that's on page 112. And I do just want to say here that I think this is very pertinent now. Unfortunately, it looks as if Obama's portrait will certainly be up in position in the near future. Tish is a Gloucestershire-based London poet, writer and theatre maker of Black and Irish roots. He was awarded a writer's mentoring programme in 2020 with poet Ronnie McGrath. So everybody a big hand for Tish Camp.
Trump, everything you do is shite. You're a racist, inept psycho-sociopath on the ropes in presidential campaign, almost ready to go down, knocked out. You out and out weird dinosaur with a capital C that no one wants to see the day after Monday next week. Obama is the first Black president, stood tall, replete in history, unveiled in a portrait that you now deny. Can you feel his black ass warming the seat that he took before you, his black hands on the desk? Did you move his furniture out? Did you disinfect, not inspect the blackness of his cocoa butter skin, left in air behind? Did you have others clean his black aroma out? Trump, a disgrace that can't bear to look at that black face hanging in the White House. You have decidedly unveiled yourself to be the cowering fool in campaign that teaches you nothing about your mistakes. Black vote not needed now at all. As proportionally the COVID beast still eats Black brothers and sisters at speed and chokes on the fries on the side, swallowing on poorer whites that the herding immunity going large McD has cold over ice. I don't care that he didn't do this or that. I care that he got there, not how he might have fucked up, sold out or didn't give back. He got there in a presidential chair. So Trump, get this, share Obama's portrait, unveil it to all. He got the right to hang on the fucking wall, not some tree, strange fruit Billy sang, stranger truth in your deny, because all can see your overseer power, failing in past cotton fields in your final hour.
Yay.
As I say, it's all happening. It's all going the right way, Tish. Okay. And we'll move on to Chris Barber, please. Is Chris there? Is Chris Barber there? Have you let him in, Jason? Do you know?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. I'm not sure what's happened there. So, Lucia, are you happy to go next?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay. Lucia is going to read Music of All Languages, which is on page 76. Lucia is an artist, a writer, editor, freelance journalist, and poet from Romania. She is a linguist and has been widely published internationally. A big hand, please, for Lucia Daramus.
Music of All Languages by Lucia Daramus. I am from the east and south and north, when the wind dances so slowly and is singing the story of its people. The fields, like in England, are green and shaggy. The clouds are wheeling on the sky, and the sky is so fragile and blue, like my soul, which is keeping the entire planet. But you don't understand this because of your inner deconstructions revolution. Mr. Boris Johnson, I am just a woman staying in front of a strong man. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? My powers are only my words, words. What can I do? What can I do? On the streets there are many conflicts. A special culture fight against another one. Everywhere is a fight. Yes, a fight. Mr. Boris Johnson, I am not a terrorist. I am a European. Domnule Boris Johnson, nu sunt o teroristă. Sunt o europeană. Signor Boris Johnson, no soy un terrorista. Soy un europeo. Signore, io non sono un terrorista. Io sono un europeo. I am from the east and south and north. When lambs are jumping with happiness and peasants knead ancestral clay with their hands, worked hands, the door of their soul is open for each human, because my country is Romania, when Brâncuș crushed the stones to make his golden bird flying over the world. My country is Poland, when Chopin touched with his fragile fingers the sounds of our nature. My country is Germany, and Britain, and Italy, and Spain. Spain, when Picasso and Salvador Dali painted. My country is Denmark and Greece and because I am a Muslim, Buddhist, Jew, Muslim, Christian. Yes, Mr. Boris Johnson, I am a European. I am a European. And in my veins are flowing the music of all languages. Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you, Lucia. Truly international. I love the languages that you bring and weave into that poem. Absolutely fabulous. Another big hand for Lucia. Next, we're going to move on to Dave Seed. I can't see Dave. Oh, there you go. Hi. Dave Seed is going to read, and I'm really not going to get this pronunciation right. I do apologize. Megaloceros giganteus of the tribe Megarocini. Is that anywhere near right?
It's probably closer than I'm going to manage.
Anyway, if you want to read it rather than hear it, it's on page 73. Dave Seed is a Gloucester-based artist and writer. Indeed, he did the initial emblem for the GPS, the crow. Brilliant. And poetry is relatively new departure for him. He says he's still experimenting. So big hand, please, for Dave Seed.
Okay. Megaloceros giganteus of the tribe Megarocerino, king of the deer, once ranged from the bogs of Belibata to abysmal lake Baikal. You grazed the wooded steppes where tundra turned to bosque, a narrow band between the bears and pachyderms and southern monkeys with their sharpened sticks and fire. Two great trees grown from your skull, dead oaks rattling in the rut. Such hungry work. Antlers feeding on your bones, springtime osteoporosis, and a need for lime-rich fodder. You had enough velvet for a king's wardrobe. The monkeys drew you in soot and ochre, rubbing your spirit into the walls at Lascaux, whilst mining your continents of flesh. Peat cutters found your sheddings, root stump ploughshares, scapulars like shovel blades, and named you Fiamor, Skelk, and Seg. We see you, washed clean and wired, vertebral picket fence and leaf spring legs, labelled and lit, extinct exhibit, fire monkeys still rubbing your spirit into the walls. Keranunos is belling yet.
You said you were having to do some pronunciation practice, and I can see why. But a brilliant poem. Thank you very much indeed. And next up, we're going to have Ben Ray. Now, hold on, I've just got to go back a minute. I've got this a bit muddled. Okay, now Ben Ray is going to read The World's Oldest Periodic Table in the World, and it's on page 128. Ben is poet in residence for the Cheltenham Poetry Festival and won the New Poets Prize in 2019. His recent collection, The Kindness of the Eel, was published by the Poetry Business in 2020. So a big hand, please, for Ben Ray.
Thank you, thank you. It's great to read this poem that's inspired off a real event from a news article. It's called The Oldest Periodic Table in the World. We never really, and it was found under the floorboards of a house, so it's an interpretation of that. We never really react well together, you and I. Acidic, you called me, tongue coarse as a scouring pad when I chastised you for coming back too late. Your little atomic bomb we were destined to destruct. Who knew we were living above a paper-thin slice of historical irony? They say opposites attract. I thought our poles had aligned that day you drew me close and our breaths mingled as we shared our secrets, our shame. The local historian explained why it was in German and how in your eloquence it had got the fuck up to Scotland, the same way I did. Chemicals and bad luck. All those years we had thought we had fought, a natural imbalance playing puppet to the elements underneath our feet.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Ben. I mean, only you and Dave Seed could have such brilliant titles. It's really lovely to get such unusual titles. It really whets your appetite for the poem. So another big hand, please, for Ben Ray. Oh, we are actually rattling along much quicker than I thought, which is good in a way. We'll have a longer break. So next up, if I find the right page. Next up, we have Sally Aspen. Sally, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good, brilliant. Sally's going to read Of Magpies and Spirit on page 84. Sally is a Gloucester-based poet, originally from North Wales, and is a software developer for the NHS. So a big hand, please, for Sally Aston.
Of Magpies and Spirit. Out of that wind-swept winter's day, you staggered flightless. Gave you refuge. You repaid with curiosity. I straightened the kitchen, warmed in company of bright dark eyes, watching entranced. You taught determination, launching over and over into would-be flight. When the sanctuary took you, they reassured me with cheerful reports of your escape attempt. I saw your spirit still blazed bright.
Lovely.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you. I love that poem. It's really beautiful. Thank you, Sally. Okay, and next up, all the way from Melbourne in Australia, we're really pleased and give a big welcome to Adele Odier-Jones, who's going to read Rebelling on page 102. She is a poet from Melbourne, as I said, and her latest collection is entitled Counting the Chipperoni, published by Ginindera Press in 2019. So please, a big hand for Adele.
I wrote this poem during the bushfires in Australia. They're burning again now, but these were the ones you, yes, these were the ones you heard about earlier. My poem, Rebelling. And I heard the earth groaning. This is not the end, remember, though there is only so much I can do to heal the pits they delve and carve in my heart. My bowels reaching, rebelling, calling to the wind to return with new bird song.
Oh, beautiful. Put in context. So much lovelier. You've got them again already. That is awful, isn't it? So early in the summer. Oh, it's awful. But thank you very much. It's so lovely to have you here with us. Thank you. Right, next up, we have Brian Reed. Hello, Brian, are you there?
I am.
Hi. I can't see you. Oh, yes, I can. I've got you right. Brilliant. Brian Reed is going to read Lockdown on page 66. Brian is a Chippenham-based DJ, master of ceremonies, writer, and spoken word artist. So big hand, please, for Brian Reed.
Good evening, everyone. It's lovely to be in such august company. So this was just a visceral reaction to the original lockdown, hence the title. You can't see it till it's in you. You can't feel it till it hits you. You can't dodge it when it surrounds you. You can't engage safe mode. You're walking blindfold in the middle of the road, unsure and scared, and soon to be maybe permanently scarred. This is a global leveling event. This is gold medal content, and nothing will ever be the same again. And whatever you think reality is just changed. The music's out of sync, no matter what you think. And all the hand-wringing in the world is too little and much too late. As global economics are about to stagnate, and no amount of spin can help us to relay, because everything is built on the lie of stability. But life is full of random volatility, seething, raging, flaring, glaring, violence just below the surface, ready for deep sharing. The dragons within us released by fear and power cuts. Be fearful, be tearful, be grateful. Don't let bravado and ignorance make you hateful. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you.
I love the rhythm of that. The rhythm is fabulous. Thank you. Okay, and next up, to end us on our first half, actually, as I said, I spent all this time giving everybody 3 minutes and telling everybody that they mustn't say too much. And now I find that actually we managed it in about 2 minutes for everybody. But never mind, we can have a nice long chat at the break. So to finish our first half, we couldn't have anybody else but Clive Oseman. You there, Clive?
I am.
Goody. Yeah. Clive is going to read Come Together on page 27. Clive is a Swindon-based Brummie, a multi-slam winner and co-host of Ubi Hive. His latest collection, It Could Be Verse, was published in 2020 by Black Eyes. So big hand, please, for Clive Oseman.
Out for the worst poem of the night award. Written at the beginning of lockdown when I got a bit of writer's block. I'm trying to write, but my mind is in lockdown. The ideas all 2 meters apart, which is a problem when you're as small-minded as me. And some are sunbathing in the park illegally, probably nude. I always did have naughty thoughts. One day, they will all come together, misses, have lots of babies and make a poem. And it won't be a haiku, oh no, it will be an epic. I will let it flow, become too long for a slam, full of metaphor and trendy words like fam. But damn, it's not happening yet. The ideas are still not side by side. So you'll have to make do with this and be satisfied.
What are you like? We know what
That
you're
must
like.
be your shortest poem ever, though. I've never heard such a short poem. Normally, you're sort of.
I wrote that in about 2 minutes, lying in bed, couldn't sleep, and it was at the beginning of the lockdown, and I was thinking, what can I do? I just came out with that. Sorry.
Eric's got one of those he didn't want to put in his book about what can I do but write rubbish, and actually it came out really well, and that came out really well. So thank you very much. Big hand for Clive Oseman, please. So we have actually come to the end of our first half a bit early, and in a minute we will break for the break. I just want to say a couple of things about the Gloucestershire Poetry Society. I don't know how many of you here know all about it, but it was a fabulous idea of Zeddy Dix, as we know, Ziggy, and he set it up in 2016, I think it was, if I'm right. He's since gone on to do other things with the festival and for being Poet Laureate. And I took it over at the beginning of this year, never realizing, of course, that it was going to be the kind of year it's been, and that everything has gone online. But actually, that online has been a bonus in so many ways, because we have a much bigger international and countrywide audience, which is fabulous. And we're finding new voices, and it's really brilliant. The Gloucestershire Poetry Society allows anyone to put their poetry online. And if people are just starting, I think this is such a good way. They don't have to feel nervous of criticism. Unless they ask for a critique, they're not going to be criticized. And yet what we did this year was just pull out any poem that came to us that had something that caught our eye, whether it was the quality of poetry or whether it was some element of joy or element of image. We pulled them out. And I think the first half has actually shown us what a wonderful mixture that we managed to pull out. So this is what the GPS is all about. And I would like you to give an enormous applause for all the people who've read so far. Big hand, please.
Yeah, thank you.
I think one other thing that I didn't realize until people messaged me was, of course, many of these people can now call themselves published poets. I mean, obviously, a lot of published poets are in the GPS, but there are others who've never had the chance to be published, and now you are published in an anthology, and that is brilliant. So that's great. I'm going to stop going on now. I was just trying to fill in time a bit. It's 10 to 8. We'll have a break till 8. Fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can chat if you want, or you can go off and get coffee. Do whatever you like.
I was prepared this evening and brought mine to the table so I didn't have to move.
That's a good idea. Thank you, everybody. That
We're
went
getting
well.
through it quickly.
I can't believe it. I was so worried, because you know how many poets always give a great long preamble before they. In fact, I think Jeff Cottrell, wasn't it, on one of Ubi Hive's nights, did this whole poem about the preamble that the poet does before his poem.
That was fabulous. That was
Me and Nick have seen that happen live.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Oh,
And
it
so
was-
nobody's done a preamble, not a single poet.
It was a fabulous poem, that. I loved it.
Yeah.
That was absolutely epic when we saw it happen live, though. It was
Not Jeff's poem, the actual subject of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was. It
Somebody
was.
doing
It was incredible.
Time to do one poem.
Yes, it does go on and on.
It was when you got to the 9.5 minutes bit, and we were thinking it must be a short poem, and she was like, I haven't got time to do this now, so thank you, and walked off, and we were like, but we just spent 10 minutes saying it was a wonderful poem, and now we don't get to hear it.
That was the poem. Hi, Ziggy. Glad to see you here. How you doing?
I'm lagging for some reason.
You're lagging.
Yeah.
Technically speaking.
Well, yeah, and physically, I think, but no. Screen. But it got smack bang in the middle of my screen. It's still my head in. Right, there it's gone.
Okay. I can see you perfectly well. You're coming
Oh,
over.
no. Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Sorry?
I got a message from. Am I coming through okay? Or am I just?
Yes. It's slow. It's breaking slightly.
Okay, I'm going to try and leave and then come back in and see what's going on. I think next door's got a supercharged Wi-Fi thing or something that's interfering a bit.
Okay. Yeah, try that.
Okay.
How are you doing, Adam?
I'm okay, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. You've been locked down again for a month, or have you been able to get it out and about?
Well, I've been able to get out to do shopping, but that's been about it. It's been a very isolated month, but this time, because I was able to get out, unlike last time, I've been writing instead. So it's
good.
It's been quite a productive month.
That's good.
I've got a quarter of a new book taking shape.
Wow. Well, that sounds interesting. So are you going to have to sort of more or less stay as you are at Christmas, or can you go and see your father, or what?
No, unlikely to go anywhere at Christmas. My father doesn't do Hanukkah, let alone Christmas. So.
All right. Okay.
Went to see him. I'd end up doing.
I should have realised that, but well.
Oh no!
Festival of Light, anyway.
He's not religious particularly at all. So.
Okay. No, Christmas is going to be really bizarre. I mean, people who have more than 2 children, grown-up children with their families, I mean, who do you choose to have as your 3? It doesn't make any sense.
My mother's side of the family have just said, right, that's it. We're opening presents at each other on Zoom, and see you next year.
I think it's probably wise. I think that's very wise. Sad, but wise. How are you doing in Australia, Adele? How's the
Well, actually, I'm stuck here because I don't live here permanently. I live in Europe, but I came here, and a short time later, because I'm in Melbourne, we were in lockdown. So we've been locked down for months, but because my life is somewhere else, my husband is somewhere else, and I'm here.
Oh my God!
We're not allowed to leave the country in Australia. So we're really in lockdown. Australia has been locked down. No one can leave the country without a special permission from Home Affairs. So I had to write a very, very, very long letter with lots of certificates, and I have permission from Home Affairs to travel. But the situation in Australia is wonderful. And the situation in Melbourne is 0. We're now up to 32 days with no cases.
That's brilliant.
So even though it's been very hard, because we could go 5 kilometres, no further, and nobody visiting, it was difficult. But it has worked. It has worked. It's been economically, it's been tough, but it's going to be okay, I think.
I think for us over here, the changes in constant changes in what you should or shouldn't do, it becomes so confusing, and a lot of people are just saying, I can't be bothered, I'm not going to take any notice, and that is, why we've got such a problem. I think the government is trying to save work and finance the economy, but actually keep having to lock down doesn't help the economy. We'd have done better to have done a big, like here, you know, like they have just shut everything down for a bit and try and get rid of it, and then we could start moving again. This dribs and drabs.
So this week, every state in Australia can fly. Nobody could come to Victoria, and no Victorian could go to another state. It was the first time since Federation that this had happened, but now all states are open.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's the other side of having a hard lockdown.
Yeah. Oh, well, hopefully with vaccines and things, this will be the last year that we have to bother. It's done.
And I'll be quiet now, but the interesting thing about Melbourne is that our population, metropolitan Melbourne, is more than 4.5 million. So it's a big population. That's just Melbourne, that's not Victoria. It's a big population. Yes, vaccine.
Excuse me a moment. Jason, did Ziggy let you know he's got a problem? He's going to try and come back in again. So can you look out for him?
Okay, yeah, I will certainly do that.
Okay. How are we doing?
About 5 minutes.
Good.
So, who haven't I spoken to that's on here? Hi Emma, how are you doing?
Hi, good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not so bad. I've seen your pictures with your little boy out and about.
Oh, yes, yeah. Yeah, he loves being outside, which is good.
Yeah, he's amazing, isn't he? So interested in everything.
He really is.
See that? Yeah. It's
yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's nice taking him out at night at the moment because I've got a star map sort of app on my phone, so we can look at the stars together and the planet.
Gosh.
He loves that.
There's a big moon tonight.
Oh yes.
Hi, Kathy.
Tonight.
Kathy.
Hello.
Hi. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I wasn't sleeping very well last night, so I was Googling around and moving around Facebook, and I found the poem that you did for New York. Oh, it is fabulous. You're an actress, aren't you? I mean, she was a posh voice. It was so
thank you.
Authentic. Brilliant.
I'm not an actress, no.
But you could be. You're certainly a performer. My gosh, it was wonderful.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot, Josephine. Thanks.
Absolute genius.
Yeah.
Oh, like I'm going red just even thinking about it.
Sorry, I'll stop embarrassing you. I just wanted to say I saw it. And Clive knows I saw it because he was awake at the same time.
It was one I've kept in my back pocket the whole way since Zoom because I wasn't sure if it would work on Zoom, but Clive did something the other week he wasn't sure it would work and it worked okay, so I thought, sod it. I'll try and see it.
It was absolutely brilliant.
Thanks, Clive.
If anybody hasn't seen it, if you look on my timeline from last night, there's a video on there. Watch it. It's brilliant, honestly.
Great. I'm going to watch it now. I love the fact that loads of us are doing all experimental stuff now. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's really, really cool. And it's lovely to be back here in a big group of poet friends I haven't seen for a long while. And new people
nice to have
too.
you back, Tish.
Yeah, bless you guys.
Yeah, Tish, I've missed you. I haven't seen you. We haven't shared a cocktail in too long.
I know, big mojito.
Yeah.
It'll be a while yet.
And the dancing. Ooh,
And the
dancing. We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
And Matty, hi there, Matty. Trevor, hi Trevor as well. Lovely to see you.
I've lost Matty. I don't know where he's gone. I was just
I'm
going
here.
to say.
He's back.
Ah, there you are. There you are. Yes.
Okay,
Brilliant to have you with us.
When he's back.
I do hope this means, Matty, that you'll come in January and do some open mic for us. That would be lovely.
What? An event?
Well, we do an event every month, but you've not managed to get here yet, and it's great to see you.
Yeah. I was a bit tied up beforehand, but yeah, I'm all right now.
Good, brilliant, lovely to see you. It's been a long time since breast a cat and
yeah.
Heartbreaking,
Heartbreaking,
to
isn't
get
it?
back. Yeah, it'd be fabulous.
Maddie, I read your poem on the page. It was absolutely stunning. I really loved that. Well done.
Which one?
The one about it's 3 lines every time, and it was about loss.
Oh yeah,
And, oh,
yeah,
stunning.
yeah.
So good.
I think that's what they call it was a tricube, was it? It was a
Well, I
tricube.
don't know, but yeah, I really loved it.
3 syllables each line,
Yeah.
3 lines, and 3 verses.
Gosh, she's getting
Yeah.
so. Yes, very good.
No, it's a lovely poem, though. I thought so anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm just going to draw everybody's attention to Charlie's face.
Can't find him.
He's up there, right
Oh,
at the
yeah.
top. It's a lady's face. He's a
Charlie, you've
pantomime
changed.
dame. And as we've got more time, I'll get him to put it on the chat. He's doing it for Ukrums from the forest. So I think it should be really, really fabulous. Is your ears burning, Charlie?
I've just got back and we made a quick piece of toast, but
Sorry.
you want me to post crumbs?
Well, we were just looking at the picture of you in drag on
my
I see that
pantomime
yesterday.
dame.
your pantomime dame. Yes,
Good.
fabulous. Okay, everybody, it is 8 o'clock and we're going to get back on track, which is good. And I won't read quite so fast this time because we've got some time. We have got a few more, we've got a couple more poets this half than last. So bear with me just a second. So I hope you're realizing this anthology is worth having, and I hope if you haven't got it, you'll go out and get it. If you're not a fan of Amazon, you can order it through any bookshop, but you can also order it through bookshop.org, which is a new online organization that supports independent bookshops. And it's nice to have an alternative to the big A, and to get your books through that. Somebody blowing a raspberry.
Got wind. Matty, lay off the sprouts.
So, okay. So we're going to start again, carry on. And I've been in touch with Jan Illingsworth. Most of you know Jan on Facebook. She's in New Zealand, of course, and I hoped that she might be able to join us, but sadly she's not very well at the moment, so can't.
Jan Illingsworth.
Jan Illingsworth, yeah.
Yeah, bless her. Didn't know that.
She's an artist, a singer, a writer, a poet, a sculptor, and a keen gardener from New Zealand. And she's always on, well, perhaps not as much now, but she has been a lot on Facebook showing her art and her poetry. And we trawled this one from the GPS page, and it's called The Nest. The orchard hideaway in waist-high grasses, under abundant trees, through grasshopper vaulting grounds, beneath summer cerulean span, white clouds breathe on sky-high breeze. In cotton dress, barefooted, I ran. The overturned rust-red water tank, my haven from a scolding voice in constant unhappiness harangue. Here, in this shady hide, Teddy and I sit, side by side, looking out into nature forms moving, shushing soft sounds soothing. A small world of secrets. Perhaps I'll sleep here tonight, beneath inky skies with stars country bright. Away from nightmares in my sleeping head, away from the witch under my bed. Hugging my knees as the spiders said, no. If I die before I wake, who then, unknown, my soul will take?
Wow.
That's a sad little poem, I think. And the more I read it, the more sad it became. But
Beautifully,
yes,
beautifully read, beautifully
thank
read.
you. And I said to her, would you like me to read it for you? And she said, oh yes, please. So I will. Well, I'm hoping she might get this recording anyway and be able to see us all. Okay, let's carry on now. The next person up is Peter Lay. Peter is a former youth worker, an international rock band manager, now a publisher in an independent publishing house of Black Eyes, and is events coordinator for the Gloucestershire Poetry Society. He's obviously often on longing to go to Japan and hasn't been able to this year for obvious reasons. So his poem is called 42 Days to Japan, and it's on page 144. Big hand for Peter, please.
Wow, thank you. Okay, yeah. For those that you don't know, I was due to go to Japan in May this year, which obviously didn't happen. And this particular poem, 42, is my favorite number because obviously it's the meaning of life. And
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah. And I wrote this poem on the 27th of March, which coincidentally was 42 days before I was due to fly to Japan for the 4th time, hence the title. That literally happened. So, so this is 42 Days to Japan. Confined in my prison with cracked television beyond the window, deserted streets, a strange dystopian view, friends, family, lovers, distant, unknown futures. Sunshine has brightened the mood, getting into the garden, lifting spirits. People are scared. Where will this end? Patched up the fence between us and next door, their fence broken, left after the storms. Our cat Charlotte is frightened, a gap in her domain. So we filled it temporarily in the sun, a simple task completed. Now I sit in front of a sea of faces, a map of Japan behind me, writing words, today's words. A crow in a garden. No, there are two, black and menacing, moving in on the resident pair of magpies. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Brilliant. Okay. And now we move on to Adam Horowitz. Adam's going to read Rock on page 105. Adam is a widely published poet, editor, and performer based in the Stroud Valleys. His latest collection, The Soil Never Sleeps, was published in 2018 by Palewell Press. Please, a big hand for Adam Horowitz.
Thank you. Thank you, Josephine. This poem is for Rick Vick, who I realized all of a sudden died 1 year and 2 days ago. So this is kind of a little more emotional than I thought it might be for me at the moment. It's called Rock for Rick. I remember our first meeting only vaguely now, more as sense memory stiffening to shale, becoming the past's bedrock, essential and unmoving under the still waters of time. So like my father you were, and yet not my father. It was easy to be friends. Despite the difference in years, we shared countless landmarks on our tangled paths to knowledge, and age does not matter anyway. I have watched you weather into rock, into the old man of Hoy, a signal for passing ships that they're traveling in a good direction, yet nothing has dimmed the blue fire of your eyes. Memory plays tricks, brings up the strangest moments. You pinched my cheeks once, laughing at something stupid that I'd said, as if I were a child. A few weeks later, I did the same to you. I remember the blue-skied winter that blazed for a moment. Then you laughed like cracked ice falling into the river's rush, the free and easy multitudes of spring. There is so much still that could be said over campfire, coffee, and honeyed toast. So many verses and secrets, orphans till they're shared, to be wound out through smoke across your kitchen table. Time is unkind, yet memories persist. They nudge at me now like schools of fish slipping in and out of reefs, emerge playful as light from the cracks in the rock that you have become, have always been.
Wow. That's a great poem, and a great dedication to your friend. Thank you, Adam, for reading that so beautifully. Another big hand, please, for Adam Horowitz. Next up, we have Vicky Hampton. Vicky's going to read Lottie on page 68. Vicky is a writing for well-being facilitator as well as a poet. Her work has been widely published in webzines and anthologies, and we're pleased to have her with us today. Please, a big hand for Vicky Hampton.
Thank you, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can't see. Oh, yes, I can see you. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This poem is a bit of a response to the Lady of Shalott, the first poem I ever experienced in poetry in school and hated it, and I still hate it. So this is my, I always wanted to know what would have happened if she hadn't died. So here we go, Lottie. So, knight and burgher, lord and dame, by the wharfage where they'd come, gasped to find the lady, not dead as some had said, but looking wanly on at the faces here at Camelot. But minstrel, maid, reaper, jest, laughed as royalty crossed its chest. They knew their own kind from the rest, this Lady of Shalott. Oh, get over yourselves, they cried. 'Tis only Lottie with her overplied endeavours to be Lancelot's bride. How many times has she tried now coming into Camelot? I'm not, Lottie, the wee girl stamped on getting up, unfolding cramped and aching limbs. I'm the revamped Lady of Shalott. The crowds guffawed and then dispersed, and Lottie, thanks the mirror's curse, had more to do than first she thought. I know, I'll put them all into verse and send a ball at Camelot. Resolved, she stepped out from her boat, and turning saw Sir Lancelot gloat, while flicking his finger across his throat at the Lady of Shalott. She scoffed, I'm well relieved, for all your plumes and brazen greaves, up close you're like rained on barley sheaves. You've more drip than the willow leaves on the way down to Camelot. High-horsed Lancelot, seeing his cover blown, offered his hand to help her down, thinking he ought to have earlier known this Lady of Shalott. Refusing, she gave him a withering look. To earlier, time I forsook that notion of romance, and her book of nights she chucked into the plugged-up brook outside the gates of Camelot. She found a pub within the city, had several beers, and sitting to write her ditty, stuck her fingers to the sleazeballs with her "Oh, pretty Lady of Shalott." Her writing made her mildly famous. She matured on Keats and Camus, and from Romanticism's stale hiatus grew a woman who recognised ignoramus in the high offices at Camelot. She settled among the poor but worthy, wrote when she wanted, drank when thirsty, and befriended those that called her that wordy Lady of Shalott. As time went on, the island faded, the tower, her stitching, and all those jaded knights of yore just degraded. This lass preferred the unpomaded, baldy Camelot. She married the reaper who'd listened teary all those years back among the barley, and was never happier than when coitus weary he'd been, gasping, "Lady, that's your lot."
I can see that hating it has created a really good pastiche. That's brilliant. Well done. Thank you. Another big hand for Vicky Hampton. Right. And next up we have Ziggy. Ziggy, are you there? I can't see you.
I am just right, I think.
Brilliant. Let's hope it all stays long enough. Z.D. Dix is a poet. He now is the Gloucestershire Poet Laureate and the director of the Gloucester Poetry Festival. His latest collection, Vexed, was published by Hedgehog Press just recently in 2020. He's going to read Scuddy Hunts on page 115. Thank you, Ziggy. Big hand for Ziggy, please.
I apologise, I'm going to do a slight preamble just because for context. Skadi was a Jotun, a giant, or whichever label you want to associate with that. And this is the poem about Skadi after she realises her father was killed and makes her way for revenge against the gods. Her hair plumed, hips snow-shod, a lithe wind whip brushing her bow. Knives and swords on a curved lip. Her tongue crackled, a hot avalanche. She smouldered down, skiing the mountain, a clot of acrid heat, cloying molten slush. The coldest goddess, scorched in sweat, searched for prey, kindled by her wake.
Sorry, I was just writing, texting, putting in the chat that last line because it's fabulous. Thank you, Ziggy. That was really. Somebody's eating crisps. Could they just mute, please?
Not Christmas biscuits, but
well, could you? Thank you. Okay, that was brilliant. Thank you. Can we have a really big hand for Ziggy, please? And next up, we have Kuma-san. She's going to read Forget Me Not 2, which is on page 41. It's number 2 because it's the second poem. She read it in the Raised Voices just before lockdown. So that was for International Women's Day. Kuma lives a few miles outside Gloucester. She runs an online meditation sessions using gong and cymbals. She's a natural musician and poet. So please give a big hand to Kuma-san.
Thank you, Christine. Forget me not. I am the voiceless, watching my children die hungry, knowing that other people dream, but forgetting why. I am the besieged, hoping that my heartbeat is enough life for the child swaddled in my arms as the world around me detonates. I am the stolen, used, discarded, punished, adrift in a parallel universe, only touching your world when it hits or kills me. I am the battered and abused, silently suffering till death do us part. Forget me not. Remember me, my breathing softness. Celebrate my life as a woman, a sister who danced on this earth, one familiar with your journey as you are with hers. Remember that I loved and was loved in return, that like you I dreamed and held hope close on the darkest nights. Remember that the ripples of my fate inevitably shape your life. Dance for me. Remember who you are. Forget me not.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Brilliant, lovely poem. Next up, we have Trevor Valentine. Trevor, are you there? Can I? Yeah.
I am. Can you hear?
Yeah. Trevor's going to read One Soul on page 85. Trevor is a singer and songwriter and poet from Gloucestershire. So big hand, please, for Trevor Valentine.
Thank you, Josephine. Just one word. I only started with Gloucestershire Poetry Society in July, and then I ended up with this published sort of 5 months later, which was a great feeling. So thank you very much, and thank you for the way you've made everybody new feel welcome. All of you behind the scenes, Jason, Peter, and yourself especially. So thank you. It does mean a lot. Okay, One Soul. We were, at the beginning of time, perhaps a little before, together, not lovers, but one soul, together, complete. And then God or someone or something, perhaps a devil, put us apart, and we were left alone, yearning for how it was as one soul, together, complete. Was that a woeful day, or just a challenge to make us and our children the stronger for striving to be as one, together again, one soul, one special soul, together? I do not know. For now, without differences, we are marked and caged like animals apart, looking through bars, looking for keys to unlock this damned door and return to where we were, together, complete as one. And when I meet with your mind or with your body or with both, it is the closest we can be, the closest we are allowed to be, together, but not quite complete. For it is only passing, momentary, fleeting, a small instance in time of the door being unlocked. For the cursed jailer stands by rattling his keys, and we must return to being alone and incomplete. In my thoughts, in my head, and in my mind, we are as one. And that may be love, or its definition, the striving and yearning to be together again as one soul. And forgive me if I would cast away this frame, this shackle, this cage, these markings, this form, for it is no more befitting me than it befits you. And if I am fluid in this, in my mind, in my body, it is not a statement or a challenge. It is just, well, it is just what is inside. A search for comfort, for inward peace, for tranquility, a quest for one soul. I am not alone now. I know there are others, many more who understand, who seem allowed to understand, and now seek out, despite or because of our God, the same unfulfilled transition. Forward or back, it matters not. It is fluid. We will stand together, one paternity, one fraternity, one indifference, one unity, one soul.
Ben put in the chat a wonderful meditation. It was following you through as you thought all these things and felt all these emotions. Brilliant. Another big hand for Trevor Valentine, please.
Well done, so brilliant, Trevor. Brilliant.
Thanks, Tish.
So next up we have Emma Lord. Emma, are you there? Yep, brilliant. Emma is going to read Dust to Dust, which is on page 34. Emma is a photographer, writer and poet based in Swindon. She owns Sagacious Cat Creative, great name, which combines her passions for writing and photography. So a big hand, please, for Emma Lord.
Thank you, Josephine, and everybody. Thank you for having me. So this is called Dust to Dust, and it's a true story. Capped by silver crowns, which glisten beneath the gentle caress of springtime sunbeams, the mountains bear witness. We are gathered here today, 3 generations strong, to say farewell. Easing the lids off small wooden barrels and facing away from the wind, we take turns to release dust to dust. Caught momentarily by the breeze which tumbles across the mountainside, we soon lose sight of the ashes as they are swept away to rest. The barrels empty, we stand a while, staring without seeing, each in our own thoughts, until, turning silently together, as though directed by an unseen hand, we leave. Nobody else saw but the mountains, wearing their crowns of silver. Thank you.
It's so beautiful, so poignant. Brilliant, brilliant input. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.
Gosh, we've got some fabulous poems
Wow.
here, we really have. Anyway, we move on to Albie Stockley, who's going to read Home Ruin on page 51. Albie is a poet, a textile artist, a spoken word performer from Kent. She's a regular performer at Spoken Word London. So a big hand, please, for Albie Stockley.
Thanks, Josephine. Just to put this in context, I wrote this after a family get-together. My family is very fractured and disconnected, and I was trying to remember some of the good times rather than just all the crap that had come before. So, Home Ruin. Sometimes I miss that sacred madness, the safety of that thread-worn home ruin where jam is smeared, beans dry, hard shriveled, old toast lies cold on piled up plates, where sounds and shouts fall always on that deaf-tuned ear, where wars are fought with homemade chips and Lego wands, where tears and angry screams turn to vendettas and they're on my side teams who swap sides at will or with the enticement of your marble stash before interlopers come in between, in which case we are now all on the same team. Don't think you can ever come in between that sacred safety of that peeling wallpaper home ruin, where spilt squash dries sticky on the side, where we argue over whose turn is it to dry, shout it was an accident, the towel flick caught you in the eye, mumble crybaby as Ma storms in, face like you best not answer back, and one of us ends up crying on the bottom step, where favourite things are gleefully hidden until Action Man's all-terrain vehicle is held to ransom, where we hate as intensely as we love, where we forget most but not all misdemeanors, because some we keep as parting shots or store for ammo in future wars, like who was last to feed the rabbit and left the cage door open, or who drew on the spot the ball ticket, or who knit the biscuits from Mars not very secret cachet, or who hides their cigarettes under the fir tree in the front garden, or who broke the back door window, or who drank the Cinzano. And sometimes I miss the safety of the don't open that window, the wood's rotten home ruin. But then mostly it just remains unmentioned, like a testament of survival, where hurts run in underground rivers, where the tearing of seams echo in caverns, and the fruits that from the trees that didn't survive the lightning roll down the hills in different directions. Thank you.
Thank you, Albie. That I was in your home. I was watching all these siblings fighting, and it was great. It really was. I got a really good picture of your home, the good and the bad, I think. Thanks very much. Another big hand for Albie Stockley. Next up, we have Matty Blades. I'm so pleased Matty's here. I've been wanting him to come to one of our events for a while, but he's actually made it today, and it's great. He's going to read A Little Hope on page 16. Matty is a poet from Swindon who began writing poetry after the tragic loss of his sister. He finds the process therapeutic, and therefore continues writing, regularly posting on the GPS. A big warm welcome to Matty Blades, please.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Yeah, this poem reflects basically what Josephine has just said. It's the positivity that poetry has gifted me. Yeah, little hope. Just as I thought it was going okay, so again wakes up the pain. A torrent of memories plague me as I relive it again and again, clawing away at my fractured mind, this insidious mental disease, tearing away any semblance of self and setting my demons free. Wound up so tight it feels like I could explode, but somewhere deep inside of me there must be a little hope, a spark of creativity, a way to release the pain, to stop, to pour my heart upon the page and stop myself going insane. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. And next up we have Viva Andrada O'Flynn. Are you there, Andrea?
I'm here.
Viva? Yeah, brilliant, thanks. Viva is going to read tonight on page 133. Viva is a writer, an artist, a poet, an event specialist and entrepreneur, originally from the Philippines, now living in Gloucester. And I put, like Mr. Kipling, she bakes exceedingly good cakes. Good, she does. So welcome, Viva. Let's hear your poem. Big hand, please.
Thank you to Peter and Josephine for including my poems in your anthology collection. And thank you also to Ziggy and Jason for giving us the platform to share our poems. So lovely to hear everyone's poems. And now I'll share my poem with you. Tonight I write of love and hate, of pleasure and pain, of sunshine and rain. Tonight I write of wrong and right, of death and life, of struggle and strife. I write worlds of words, weave my dreams like spider silken thread, unleash thoughts in my head. I write tonight. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Viva. Brilliant. Thanks a lot. And next up, we have another new writer with us, Gemma Crow. You there? Yeah, I can see you. Gemma is going to read Spirit Level on page 120. Gemma is an artist, a jewelry designer, a TV presenter, and more recently, a poet. Welcome, Gemma. Big hand, please.
Thank you. I think TV presenter really sets me up a little bit because this is so nerve-wracking. So thanks, Josephine. I'm going to have a go. Spirit Level is written sort of just as lockdown got really serious and it sort of all hit home. So here it goes. Like a giant spirit level swept through the masses, totally ignorant to wealth or assets, disregarding race or religion or colour, indifferent to gender or age or scholar, flipping what we value right on its head, this viral leveller putting malevolence to bed. Where we once looked up to wealth and glamour, we now stand to applaud care and honour. The front line now, the only line that counts. The finish line, the deadline, and all other lines denounced. Humility inducing this leveller spans as it forces enemies to concede and join hands. Petty disputes put into perspective, survival now being the only objective. A common cause has balanced the scale, given us a chance to pause and exhale. A giant audit of what we hold dear, of what we covet and what we fear. I pray I take these lessons into many tomorrows and tread mindfully and carefully into the future that I borrow. Thank you.
Brilliant. That was well done, Gemma. That was a brilliant poem, and it really put everything into context, and you read it beautifully. So you didn't need to be worried at all. It was brilliant. Another big hand for Gemma Crow. Cheers. And next up, we have our one and only Jason Conway. Jason is going to read Five Valleys Delight on page 40. Jason is a passionate eco-poet and a daydreamer based in Stroud. He's the financial, technical and marketing director of the Gloucestershire Poetry Society. His first collection is The Phoenix Rises, was published in 2018. A big hand for our Jason. Thank you.
A little bit of context. This is about the town that I live in, called Stroud, in Gloucestershire. She is a rebellious dish with a smile that beams like clementine. Peel back her folds and be soaked in the nectar of rich culture. Her vibrant sprinkles adorn a fancy, trinkets glittering a treasure. Sherry-steeped foundations perfectly balance contrasting notes. Custard, supple skin, firmed and cracked from defiant rally cries. She has known many battles, hungered troops, deftly filled with fanfares. Cream-whipped crested clouds snugly float over a fruitful community. Her swaying sponge base playfully bobs with shifts in gravity. She is a dreamy dessert, a decadent dish in the Cotswolds. This honeyed siren weathers ravaging teeth, lips licked dry. Unsavoury mouths may prefer offal, but she has a modicum of taste. Offal is for those with poor diets and plain-caked conversations. There is an honesty to her flavour, filled by nature's garden. Her future rests in the happiest of bellies, comforted, wholesome. She has a memory that lingers in the driest palate, kaleidoscopic in depth. Gracing this world, carefree, independent, a widely respected delicacy. Blessing local tables with a perfectly delicious blend of community life. But each day I devour her, savour her, each swallow caressed, indulged. I love her eclectic, soft contrasts as her name dances on my hot breath. My tongue left wet, her masterpiece painted in luscious delights. My nights are sugared by silken textures and graceful slopes. Her vibrance spikes my blood as I crave her smoothly pressed folds. Tomorrow, my appetite for her plentiful gifts will race once more, as she treats my eager hunger with the sweetest pleasures of life.
That was lovely.
Wow.
You make Stroud sound delicious, and you you almost make me want to move there. I'm not going to, but it's brilliant. Thank you, Jason. Another big hand for Jason Conway, please. Next up, we have Charlie Markwick. Charlie is reading Saying Goodnight on page 108. Charlie is a professional storyteller, poet and performer. He's poet in residence at the Gloucester Library. He's published a pamphlet, Orienteering, and he also has a show of the same name. Please give a big warm welcome to Charlie Markwick.
Can I say it's an absolute privilege to be published in this book, and GPS has been a companion through some of the most difficult times of my life, and it's been a source of fun and joy and love and friendship. So it's really, really wonderful to be invited to read one of my poems. So this is Saying Goodnight. It's a rondelette. I miss Grandma, the boy said from the top bunk bed. I miss Grandma. It hurt like scratching at a scar. I quelled the roaring in my head. Then 2 wee girls chimed in, Each said, I miss Grandma. Thank you.
Oh,
Beautiful,
beautifully read, beautiful poem. Thank you, Charlie. Very small, but full of emotion. Beautiful. I have a sad thing here because I was really, really hoping, in as much as we've got people like Matty who've made it here for the first time for a long while, Anne-Marie Kurillac was a poet in Gloucester, and she and I, Ziggy, set up Squawkers in Cheltenham, and Anne-Marie and myself were co-hosts of Squawkers. That must be well over a year ago. She describes herself as a poet of the heart, and she's now living in Tilburg in the Netherlands with her Dutch partner. And I was really, really happy to think that she would be here. But sadly, she's just messaged me and said that she can't make it. She's not feeling good. But she would like me to read her poem. So that's what I'm going to do. I would apologize to you and her because I haven't actually had a chance to practice it. So I'm going to try it, so bear with me. The poem is The Insane. The insane, inane, fundamentally flawed brain, overthink and overwrought with every overwhelming thought. Stop this madness, this broken machine that tells me I'm replaceable, forgettable, no one's dream. People care, they're always there. That darkness tells me I'm wrong, so I overanalyze, romanticize, and internalize that thought, that idea. I'm pushed by the wayside, lost all pride, run and hide, because my brain tells me I'm not required. Hardwired to think the worst, like I'm cursed. Someone better will come along, and like the words of some forgotten song, I'll become some abstract memory, a ghost of me living in purgatory, a shadow of what I used to be. But I hold on, try to be strong. It isn't easy to fight what's wrong in my head, but my heart knows more, a quieter voice that reminds me to rejoice in my own warmth that others see. Hold my head high with dignity, revel in the uniqueness of me, and remember that I'm one of a kind. And though my mind may try to find some abstract reason to make me doubt, I say that I won't be pushed out. I'll shout from the rooftops that I am here. I won't live in fear. And though some may say that there are more fish in the sea, there is no one and nothing quite like me. Thank you, Anne-Marie. And it's such a shame she couldn't be with us, because I would have loved to have seen her after all this time. So hopefully she will see this recording and know that we've missed her and send her all our best. Another big hand for Anne-Marie Kurillac. Next up, we have another compatriot of Charlie's who's joining the microphone there, Devlin Wilson. Devlin is going to read verboten, page 139. Devlin is a Gloucester-based poet, and he's been a member of the GPS for the last 3 years. So it's really lovely to have him here tonight. Please, a big hand for Devlin Wilson.
Devlin asked me to read his poem for him, and what a privilege that is. Verboten by Devlin Wilson. I am grieving for the ones I have yet to lose, in the belief I should apologize for so many things. It is decreed, even in the humdrum pleasures, must be denied us now. Every touch is a transmission, every breath an ultimatum, each heartbeat maps the growing space between them.
Charlie, for reading that so well, and thank you, Devlin. Brilliant poem. Thank you. And now we come to the end, but we're going to be finishing off with Nick Lovell, the other half of the UB Hive. I'm trying to lost the word I was going to say there. I was trying not to say partnership because you always get cross at me. Nick is going to read Her at number 10 on page 47. Nick is a part-time commentator, a full-time optimist, half-arsed anarchist, and an occasional poet. He's co-host for UB Hive. He's a slam champion, and his collection, Ever Since the Accident, was published by Black Eyes in 2019. Please, a big hand for Nick Lovell.
Thanks so much, Josephine. And before we go any further, can I get a huge round of applause, please, for Josephine, Peter, Jason, for all their hard work tonight for putting this together. Thanks so much. Brilliant. So, Her in number 10, as the title may give away, was written back when Theresa May was Prime Minister and when Boris could do nothing more than harumph from the benches. So, yeah. Theresa, Brexit teaser, budget squeezer, born deceiver, DUP appeaser. Was a Remainer, now a Leaver, just can't believe her, not Theresa. Prime Minister, slightly sinister, smile like vinegar, eyes are similar. Not a listener, when she goes, no one's missing her. Clings to Westminster, our Prime Minister. Negotiations, insulted nations, British impatience, insane expectations, unforgivable complacence, broken promises to the population, divided nation, negotiations. Brexit. Boris wrecked it, bigots expect it, lots reject it, can't correct it. Self-destruct it, bottomless pit, no way to fix it, you can't respect it, stupid Brexit. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Nick. I think those, I think you're going to be asked to come next year and read it again because we've gone through the barrier and God knows what it's going to be like. But anyway, thank you for that. Another big hand for Nick Lovell, please. Right, as we've got time, I'm going to read through every name on this list and we're going to clap each person because they've been fabulous. So we're going to start with Marilyn Timms, please, big hand, for A Day Like Any Other, and Belinda Rimmer for Wrecker, Carol Shepherd for Journey, Juliet Morton for Sunday Service Winter Swimming, Chloe Jacquet for Sounds of Easter, Ray for the world's oldest periodic table in the world, Derek Doran for Uncle, Ish Camp for Share Obama's Portrait, Chris Barber, Out of the Groove. Wait, you didn't have Chris Barber. He's not turning up. Is he here?
No.
Oh, that is a shame. That is a big shame. Okay, Lucia Daramus, Music of All Languages. David Seed, and I've done it to myself again. Megalosaurus giganteus of the tribe. Holly Aston of Magpie and Spirit. Del Odier Jones, Rebelling. Brian Reed, Lockdown. And Clive Oseman, of course, Come Together. So that was the first one. Now keep those hands going for Daniel Unsworth, The Nest. Today, 42 Days to Japan. And Horowitz, Rock. Vicky Hampton, Lockie. Sticky Dicks, Scuddy Hunts, Dumasan, Forget Me Not To, Trevor Valentine, One Soul, Emma Lord, Dust to Dust, Alby Stockley, Home Ruin, yes, she was fabulous, Eva Andrada of Flynn, Tonight, Matty Blades, A Little Hope, We're Nearly There, Gemma Crow, Spirit Level, Jason Conway, Five Valleys Delight, Charlie Markwick, Saying Goodnight, Marie Kurilak, The Insane, Devlin Wilson of Houghton, and Nick Lovell, her at number 10. Whoa! Well, that was fabulous. Well, I hope you thought it was fabulous, because I thought it was fabulous.
Amazing.
Can I just say something?
What?
Can I just say something? Right. Just saying, you know, for those of you that some people here, some new people here that have just been listening tonight, the Trawler 2020 was collected from poems posted on the Gloucestershire Poetry Society Facebook pages from the 1st of January 2019 up to the 31st of May 2020. You may not be aware, some may be aware, but the Trawler 2021, we started collecting for that on the 1st of June 2020, and we will continue round until the 31st of May 2021. So
you've still got a chance to put some poems on.
We are in the process of collecting for the Trawler 2021, and let me say, the standard has got higher. The pressure's on because there are a lot of really good poems. It's going to be difficult to get it.
Yes, it's going to be difficult to choose, I think, next year. It's quite interesting because we are going to increase the thickness of the book. So this was 100 poems. The next one will be 125 poems. So you've got a bit more of a chance. And I think there's going to be one more probably in 2022, which will be 150 poems. And that will probably be it. We won't continue forever. But yeah.
Something else after that, I guess.
Well, maybe somebody will come up with an idea. Anyway, so that's brilliant. Thank you, Peter. That's for making that clear. Can I also do a couple of announcements? First of all, I'm doing a monthly workshop. I think we've still got a couple of places. So if anybody wants to come along to the workshop on, is it the 10th?
10th, yeah.
Yeah, on the 10th of December, please book a ticket. Next January, we're going to have a fabulous Crafty Crows. We've got David Clark as our feature, and we've got Catherine Baker as our support. So it's going to be a really brilliant night, and of course open mic as well. Is there anything else I was going to say? I think that's probably more or less it, except that I would like to say I'd like to wish you all a happy Christmas. It's not going to be a normal Christmas, and I think it's all going to be difficult for all of us. I just feel that everybody should stay strong and as supportive of each other as they can be, because actually this may be the one and only Christmas we have to struggle through this if we're all sensible, and it would be so lovely, and hopefully we'll have a better 2021.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Anybody else got anything they wish to add or put into the chat? Please do, so that people can pick it up. I think, Jason, this recording will go out in a couple of days. So that would be good.
Take a couple of days to get online. On the Facebook main page and also in both the groups.
Brilliant. Sorry, Charlie, you wanted to say.
I was going to say, can I promote an event for the Gloucester Poetry Festival?
Yes, please do.
Which is 12th of December at 2 o'clock. That's a Saturday afternoon. And we've got Dream Ticket, RM Francis and PA Morbid.
Brilliant.
Good afternoon.
Sounds great. That's good. And do you want to say anything about your pantomime and Who Crumbs?
I posted it in there. If anyone really wants to come and see me make a toast myself, together with the really professional Roger Drury and Maggie Clutterbuck and Darren Hoskins, then come along tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
Sounds good. I think I'm going to
it
try.
like the plague if I were you. Yeah.
That's brilliant. And one last thing I would like to say: we have opened our winter PS poetry competition. This winter one I will be judging overall, so I would say that if you have posted a poem on the GPS, or if you have written a poem in any of my workshops, I'm afraid those poems can't really go into this winter competition, because of course I will have seen them, so they're supposed to be anonymous. But please, any other poems, please send in. The end of the competition will be February the
15th.
February the 15th. So you've got a nice long time to write some poems, and the very loose subject is winter. So that gives you plenty of choice. And on that note, I think I've come to the end. So thank you all for being so supportive, and it's a fabulous audience. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Thanks, guys. Great night.
Thank you, Josephine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, this is wonderful.
I'm glad it worked.
The whole thing.
It did.
It's like, you know, that you do these big events for somewhere like the Crypt. That takes a bit of organisation. This is so different, and you think, is it going to work? Is it going to work? But it did, and it was fabulous. Thank you all.
Thank you.
My hands are on fire.
Yes. I've got some warmth. It's great.
I haven't been able to join in the chat because I can only chat when I catch the message really quickly on the screen. Otherwise, I've fiddled all night and can't find a chat option. So thank you for comments.
It's right at the bottom. But actually, especially when I'm comparing, I very rarely can put any comment in, because by putting the comment in, I'm missing the next bit of the poem anyway.
That's it.
I find it very difficult, and the more interested in the poem I am, probably the less likely I am to actually put the comment in, which is a bit sad, because for obvious reasons.
It's true, but I just can't find it. I can do it on my PC, but not on my phone. I don't know why.
No, I don't know how you do it on your phone either.
It's the more button at the bottom right hand side.
Matty, I've been trying. You've probably seen me sort of doing this all night. And if I catch the message really quickly, I can double press it and get it. But other than that, I can't find it anywhere.
You could have different style phones.
Yeah, it could be,
yeah. If you've got an Apple as opposed to an Android, it can be so different.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that's
been wonderful anyway.
Good night, everyone, and thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Great evening, guys.
Everybody.
Good to see you.
Keep safe. Look after yourselves. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. It's weird. Suddenly you're all getting bigger and bigger.
Right, folks. It's that time now when it all goes Walton, so I'm going to dive in. It's been absolutely brilliant. Really, really enjoyed it. So
it was different to an open mic, wasn't it? I mean, I think
great.
That was quite interesting. That it was very different to an open mic. And
I did like the way you said we'll now be finished off by Nick Lovell. That sounds about right.
Is that the biggest you've performed at?
You've all dreamed, so come on.
Well, the first half was finished off by you, Clive.
Literally, yeah.
Oh dear, that was great. I really enjoyed it. And actually, I just think, other anthologies could take a leaf from this, because actually it was really nice hearing all those poems, different ones. It wasn't boring. Well, for me personally, it wasn't boring at all. I think it was an interesting process. And the mixture of people like Adam and Ben and Ziggy and really, you know, first-class poets amongst, or with the first timers as well, it didn't cause a problem. It didn't clash. It worked. Thank goodness. So I'm really pleased.
Well
Ben,
done.
I'm just staring at whether you're agreeing with me or whether you've frozen.
It was a great evening. Real success.
I've got the GPS, isn't it? You know, poetry for all. So you know.
Yeah, that's the try.
Egalitarian.
I would say there was no second class at all. So it's you know,
it's good.
Forget the first class. It was just a lovely evening.
Thank you, Adam. And that's brilliant. And hopefully we'll encourage people to keep trying and improving their poetry. That's where we're supposed to be going from. How are you, Albie? Wouldn't it be great to have a hug?
Oh my Lord, yes. I'm just like, I'm air hugging people in the street like
that.
I
know.
You know, it's like, I do miss it.
The Facebook keeps throwing up squawkers at me as memories, you know, your year ago memory or whatever, and it's squawkers all the time. And squawkers was, well, for me, so inclusive, so fabulous. It was just that 1 year. We just had a year. We didn't have any more than that. And it probably, I don't know, it may never happen again. It may be just that jewel of a year sort of glowing somewhere in the background. But, you know, everybody was so supportive and it was lovely. Well, same with Beehive. I mean, Beehive online is wonderful, but it's not like the pub where the fire burns the back of your legs every time you go to read a poem.
And I steal somebody else's drink.
Yeah. Or knock one over. One of the two.
Or knock one over,
Fabulous memories.
Yeah, it is weird to think that